My husband looked at the man I'd been having an affair with and said 6 words I'll never forget. "She'll leave you too." My affair partner laughed. I didn't, because somewhere deep inside, I knew my husband was right. My name is Sarah. My husband's name was Daniel. The man I betrayed him with was Marcus. Daniel and I had been married for 12 years. We met when we were 23. Back then, we had nothing: a tiny apartment, 2 old cars, one couch we'd found beside a dumpster. We thought we were rich because we had each other. Daniel was steady, reliable, sometimes too reliable. He wasn't spontaneous. He didn't surprise me with expensive trips. He didn't send me flowers every week, but when my mother got sick, he was there. When I lost my job, he was there. When my father died, he was the one who slept on the floor beside me because I couldn't bear being alone. I knew what kind of man he was. I just stopped appreciating him. Marcus entered my life at work. He was everything Daniel wasn't: confident, charming, impulsive. He'd call me during lunch and say, "Pack a bag. We're going somewhere." I loved that feeling. Or at least, I loved what the feeling represented: being wanted, being interesting, being someone worth chasing. The first time Marcus kissed me, I should have walked away. Instead, I kissed him back. The affair lasted 11 months. I became an expert liar. I had fake meetings, fake dinners, fake business trips. I learned exactly how long I could stay away before Daniel became suspicious. And the worst part? Daniel trusted me. Until one night, he didn't. He found a hotel reservation on our shared email. He didn't confront me immediately. He waited until I came home. The reservation was printed on the kitchen counter. "Who's Marcus?" My stomach dropped. I could have lied. Instead, I confessed. Daniel listened to everything: the hotels, the messages, the weekends. When I finished, he looked exhausted. "Do you love him?" I whispered, "I think so." Daniel nodded. "Then you should go." I cried. I begged. I told him I was confused. He didn't stop me. 2 weeks later, I moved into Marcus's apartment. I thought I'd finally chosen the life I wanted. For a while, everything felt perfect. We traveled. We stayed out late. We drank wine on weeknights. We talked until 2 in the morning. Then reality arrived. Marcus didn't like cooking. I didn't like cleaning. He hated routines. I needed them. He spent money impulsively. I worried constantly. The things I'd once called exciting started feeling exhausting. We argued, then apologized, then argued again. But I stayed, because admitting I'd destroyed my marriage for nothing felt unbearable. 6 months later, Daniel called me. "Can we talk?" I almost refused, but something in his voice made me agree. We met at a coffee shop. He looked different. Not happier exactly, just calmer. He asked how I was. I said, "Good." He smiled. "You don't look good." I laughed. "Thanks. I don't mean it like that." We sat quietly. Then he asked, "Are you still with Marcus?" "Yes." "Do you love him?" I hesitated. "Yes." Daniel nodded. "I hope you do." I stared at him. "You do?" "I hope you find what you're looking for." I didn't understand. "Why are you being so nice?" He looked down at his coffee. "Because I'm not angry anymore." That hurt more than anger would have. Before we left, Daniel said, "One day, Marcus is going to realize something." "What?" "You don't actually want him." I frowned. "That's not true." He smiled sadly. "You don't want him. You want the feeling you had when he wanted you." I left. I didn't tell Marcus about the conversation. 3 weeks later, Marcus proposed. I said yes. Not because I was certain, because I was terrified. Terrified that if I said no, I'd have to admit Daniel had been right. We started planning the wedding, and that's when things began falling apart. Marcus wanted a huge wedding. I wanted something small. He wanted to move to another city. I didn't. He wanted children immediately. I wasn't sure. Every disagreement became a fight. One night, Marcus screamed, "You don't even know what you want." I screamed back, "Maybe I don't." He slammed the door. The next morning, he was gone for 3 days. When he finally came back, he didn't apologize. He simply said, "I talked to Daniel." My blood went cold. "What?" "Your husband. Why would you talk to him?" Marcus looked at me. He called me. I couldn't breathe. "What did he say?" Marcus laughed bitterly. He told me I was making the biggest mistake of my life. I stared at him. "Why would he say that?" Marcus walked toward the kitchen. "Because he knows you." He turned around. "Better than I do." I felt something break inside me. "What else did he say?" Marcus hesitated. Then he repeated the words. He said, "She'll leave you too." I started crying. Marcus looked furious. "You know what's crazy?" "What?" I laughed. He shook his head. I told him he didn't know what we had. Then Marcus looked at me, and he said, "I know exactly what you have." My heart sank. Marcus continued. "He said you don't leave people because they aren't good enough. He said you leave when being wanted stops feeling exciting." Silence. Then Marcus said something I'll never forget. "Is that true?" I couldn't answer, because I finally understood what Daniel had seen 12 years earlier. I hadn't cheated because Marcus was better than Daniel. I cheated because Marcus made me feel like someone new. And when that feeling disappeared, I blamed the relationship, not myself. Marcus sat down. "Did you ever love me?" I started crying. "Yes." "Then why does Daniel understand you better than I do?" I didn't have an answer. Our engagement ended 2 weeks later. Not because Marcus suddenly became a bad person, because both of us finally admitted the truth. We had built a relationship out of escape, not love. Months later, I contacted Daniel. We met at the same coffee shop. I told him everything. The engagement, the breakup, the conversation with Marcus. When I finished, Daniel smiled. "I told you." I laughed through my tears. "You did." I hated that I was right. I looked at him. "Why?" "Because I wanted you to prove me wrong." That sentence broke my heart. "Daniel." He shook his head. "Don't. I don't want you coming back because you finally realized I was right. I want you to figure out who you are when nobody is chasing you." I cried, because for the first time, I knew exactly what he meant. Daniel eventually remarried. I never tried to interfere. He deserved someone who chose him without needing to lose him first. As for me, I spent a long time alone. I went to therapy. I learned how to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of running from them. I learned that excitement isn't the same thing as happiness. Being desired isn't the same as being loved. And leaving isn't always the problem. Sometimes, the problem is never learning why you keep leaving. Years later, I ran into Marcus at a bookstore. We talked for about 10 minutes. He was married. Happy. I was happy for him. Before we left, he smiled. "Daniel was right." I laughed. "About what?" He shook his head. "You didn't leave because I wasn't enough." You left because you didn't know how to stay. I nodded. That night, I finally understood my husband's words. She'll leave you too. He wasn't predicting my future. He was warning Marcus about my past and warning me about myself. Because the hardest truth I ever had to accept wasn't that I had betrayed my husband. It was that I had spent years believing a different person could make me happy, when the person I needed to change was me.